Hello and welcome back to the second part of our diamond video to celebrate my year at Target. I'm going to carry on now. I think Joe has 4 or 5 more questions and I'll answer those and then get on with our day. We're going Christmas shopping today. So, next question, Joe.
Okay. What is the most important thing that Slimming World has given you?
Freedom from food obsession, I think. It's taught me that there is a way to eat, a sort of formula for me that works. So because I never understood moderation and never understood portion size, I always did excess. Looking at this plan and doing it the way it says in the book, where it says you have 1 healthy extra A or 1 healthy extra and 1 healthy extra B, or at my stage of maintenance 2 of each, and you have, for me, what are moderate portions of free food, because I know free food in excess doesn't work and I really believe that, and I have probably more generous portions of speed food because it's lower calories. I always have sins. Now the plan says between 5 and 15. At the moment I'm having between 5 and 10, but if today I chose to have 15, I would still be on plan. So there's a flexibility there, but it's still a controlled amount. And I think what this plan has given me more than anything is a pattern to work to that has taught me how to eat like a normal person. Because before I always overate. You know, even a snack, I'd have overeaten a snack because I wouldn't have had 1 2-finger Kit Kat, I'd have had 3. I wouldn't have had 1 packet of crisps, I'd have had at least 2. So yeah, it's given me the ability to learn how to eat properly. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. What bad food habit or behaviour was the hardest for you to overcome on this journey?
This is an easy question to answer because I think the thing I left more or less until last to deal with was emotional eating. I worked very hard to deal with my binge eating and learning to say no to that. I worked very hard to deal with portion control, and went so far as kind of studying what was a normal portion of food. And you do find, especially with things like pasta and rices and things, couscous and that sort of free food, that it tells you on the packet what an average portion is. And I had to learn the very basics of things like that. And so bit by bit on my journey, I kind of dealt with the things that were a problem to me that wouldn't be a problem to everybody. But I do think a lot of people have a problem with emotional eating, and that was my biggest problem. When we go through life, or when I've been through my life and dealt with problem situations like losing my sight, like having miscarriages, like losing my dad to dementia, which was an awful 3-year journey, like like losing my best friend one Friday morning unexpectedly. He died unexpectedly. Things like that were the things I would eat over. Now, looking back at it it's over a year since my friend died, it's 2.5 years since my dad died, and it's 24 years since I had miscarriages, and it's 44 years since I lost my sight. But when I actually stopped and looked at those scenarios, I was still eating over them. So who was causing the pain to continue? I was. And I did take some counselling over these situations. And I came to a place where I realised it didn't matter how much I eat, I wasn't going to get my sight back. It didn't matter how much I ate, I wasn't going to get my babies back. It didn't matter how much I stuffed my face and made myself sick, I wasn't going to get my dad back, and my friend, and all of these things. So emotional eating was my biggest problem. And then once I'd realised that actually what I was doing was causing the pain to continue because of the food, and then if I'm really, really honest, after many years of eating over a problem that happened 44 years ago and 24 years ago, it just becomes another excuse to eat, becomes another excuse to feel sorry for myself, and just becomes another excuse and another reason for keeping myself fat. So finally I had to sort of let go of those things, and there are different ways that I did it. I used to write things on bits of paper and hang them on a cherry tree in the garden, and eventually the weather took them. I've done crazy things like that. Prayer helps, but it helped me. Excuse me. But bit by bit, month by month, I have moved on from those things. And now I'm in a situation in my life where things happen, because things always will happen. Got a very dear family member at the moment who's very sick. But me eating over it today, me going out or taking one of those boxes of shortbread and eating the whole box, would not make her better. You know, I don't have that kind of power. I'm not God. So, yeah, emotional eating, and it's still, obviously, the emotions are still there, but I can feel them today, and I don't need to eat over them. And if I got nothing else out of this plan, I'd be so grateful to have got that. Thanks, Joe.
What was the biggest change that what is the biggest change that you've seen in yourself other than your weight?
I think, really, I'm quite a different person to the person I used to be. Excuse me, lovely. I used to be unhappy, and I used to be ungrateful, and I used to be self-centred, and I believed the whole world revolved around me and my needs. And I don't think I'm that person anymore. I'm not unhappy. I'm not ungrateful. I see things very, very differently. It's like I used to be looking through frosted glass, and now I'm looking through clear glass. I see life very differently. I'm grateful for what I've got today. I was watching a video earlier while I was having breakfast, and I can't remember the actual wording, but if you watch Isa's video today about Christmas shopping, she bought a little tree, I think it was from the wall or something, in Poundland, and it actually had a saying on it. I can't remember it word for word, I'm not even going to try, but it spoke volumes. So if you haven't already watched Isa's video, a Christmas shopping video, give it a look and see what it said on that tree. It's about gifts, I think. I have got probably one of the best Christmas presents I've ever had this year, because I've got the freedom to actually focus on giving this Christmas and not focus on food. I can't remember. Last Christmas wasn't too bad. Last Christmas we had a family Christmas with my brother and his wife and kids and my mum. It was a nice Christmas, probably one of the nicest Christmas days we've ever had, wasn't it, John?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. This
Christmas we're going out. That's really nice. I'm looking forward to that. But Christmases prior to that, if you'd have said to me, what's Christmas about? Now, take into consideration the fact that I'm a Christian. What's Christmas about? Would I have said Jesus? Would I have said the Saviour's birth? Food. Christmas, going on holiday, those sort of things, special occasions, anniversaries, birthdays, for me were always totally about food. I remember eating, just before I started this weight loss journey, I remember eating my way around San Francisco. Now, ask me about the sights and the attractions and the amazing places we went. They were okay. I enjoyed it. I love San Francisco. But my biggest memories of San Francisco are where were the best places to eat. And I could take you back to every one of them. Some of them I would choose to eat in today. Some were fabulous. Some I wouldn't choose to eat in today because pancake houses where you get a stack of 12 pancakes, I don't need anymore. You know, wherever I've, what's our soup maker just finishing? Wherever I've been in the world, wherever I've been in the UK, most of my memories are about food, not places. And that I don't want anymore. So, yeah, I think that answers the question, Joe.
Does it scare you that you could slip back into your old behaviour around food?
It doesn't scare me nearly as much today as it did a year ago. When I first got to Target, first of all, I found it hard to stop losing weight because I was still in the, I was going to say diet mentality, but it wasn't a diet mentality. I think my body still had weight to lose, so I found it quite hard to stay at Target and not slip under it. And with that came a few fears. One fear was, oh my God, I was bulimic for 20 years and now I could end up anorexic. But no, that wasn't going to happen really. And secondly, if I stop doing what I'm doing, which is following this plan to the letter, having 1A, 1B, 5 to 15 sins, etc. If I stop doing that, am I going to wake up in a month's time and be 2 stone heavier? Now, I can't honestly say that doesn't happen because I've seen it happen on YouTube. I've seen other people in a similar position to me who are no better nor worse than I am, just ordinary like me. It's that easy. It's that easy to put the weight back on again. I've done it on other plans. I've done it on this plan in years gone by. I've done it on other plans where, you know, I remember doing a liquid diet and losing 7 or 8 stone in about 7 months and putting it all back on in about, seemed like 5 minutes. So I guess when I first got to Target, there was fear involved. Now that I've been at Target, and I think I have found the balance now for my real target, the 10 stone. Now that I've been here for a year, the fear is less. But I don't think having a little bit of fear is a bad thing, because it's a reminder about how easy it would be to go back the other way. I know for today, the jeans I've got on at the moment, which are size 11, I can only get size 11s in Levi if anybody's looking for in between sizes. They're 28 waist, something like that, which is less than I used to be around the top of my thighs. Is that the right way of putting it? Yeah, my waist is now less than my thigh measurement used to be. If I went up to the top of my target bracket, which would be 10 stone 3, I don't think I could fasten my jeans. I maybe could if I laid on the bed and breathed in. So I know today that I've put things in place that will stop me in my tracks. Because if I get up one morning and I'm finding it hard to fasten my jeans, it's going to ring a warning bell. And this is one of the reasons why I would never ever buy elasticated clothes anymore. Because I could get up one morning and be 2 stone heavier and still wearing the same pair of stretch trousers. I can't afford to do that today. I need things in place as physical reminders. And I think because I've got Joe, I can honestly say if Joe saw me going off the rails, I think he'd pull me up in no uncertain terms. So the fear that was there a year ago is less today, but there is still an edge of it there, which I think is a healthy thing to have. Yeah?
Yeah, that's a really good answer. Finally, last question. What do you feel gives you the strength to make the right choices around food today?
Slimming World. I mean, I know that there will be people out there who say Slimming World is not for you. It's not for you. But I'm talking about what works for me. I know for some people Weight Watchers is the answer. We're all unique people, we're all individuals, we have to find what works for us. For some people it'll be calorie counting. I wouldn't say for some people it'll be liquid diets, because I really believe today they're too dangerous. I've done it, been there, made myself very sick, and I did it under the supervision of my GP. So I didn't do it, I didn't just drift off and pay somebody once a week. I did it with the authority and the support of my GP. And I ended up in hospital, it made me ill. But for me today, what's got me here and what's going to keep me here is Slimming World. And I'm not being paid to say that. I'm not endorsed or supported in any way. I've had nothing free or nothing given to me from Slimming World. They don't even know I make these videos. But I know, hand on heart, if it wasn't for Slimming World, I would not be where I am today. And I don't mean my version of Slimming World. I mean Slimming World's version of Slimming World. Because I think if you take the plan and you look at the free food, the speed food, the healthy extras and the Sims, it is a formula for eating properly, which was something I never knew how to do. And I don't know why I didn't know how to do it, because I grew up in a family where they all ate properly. My mum fed us properly, we never got junk, we got healthy meals, but it was about me. And I can't emphasise enough. When I was in Asda a couple of days ago with Joe, we went to do some grocery shopping. And as we walked into the foyer, and I mean, take into account I haven't got a clue what's in the foyer, so sometimes being blind is a bonus. I can't see all the chocolates and things. And as we walked into the foyer, there were two ladies behind us, and one said to the other, they shouldn't be allowed to put all this Christmas food in the foyer. It's too tempting. I wanted to turn around to her because I was smiling, and I couldn't say anything to Joe because they were right behind us, but I wanted to turn around to her and say to her, who's they? Who's this they who shouldn't be allowed? They're just retailers trying to make the most out of what they can sell at this time of year when we're all out there looking to buy stuff. It's no different from, going into Boots and they've got makeup as you walk in the door or whatever. It's just, that's their business, that's how they make their livelihood. I don't have to buy it, and I don't have to eat it, but I don't live in a nanny state where I can expect everybody else to remove temptation from the end of my fingertips. It's my responsibility to stick to this plan, and I absolutely love it. It's not a chore, it's not difficult. In fact, it's the easiest way I've ever eaten in my life, and I am loving food today. So yeah, Slimming World gives me everything I need to live in the way I'm living today. And I have to say it's freedom, because I was in bondage for so many years. So today I don't smoke, and that's been a part of this journey. I had to give up the fags before I could get the food in the right place, because I used cigarettes as a substitute for food, so they had to go. That saved me a fortune in the fact that I used to smoke 20 a day, and what would that cost me today? 7 or 8 quid a day, so £50 a week. I don't drink the way I used to, because if I drink, then I want to eat. So, simple solution, put the booze down. And we've got booze in the house, and it's been here since last Christmas, and I honestly haven't even had to stop myself drinking it. I don't need it, I don't want it. And I don't eat junk anymore. And I was the queen of junk food. Cheap, crap, tap. That's the kind of food I like. High sugar, high salt, high fat. And I feel so much better for not indulging myself in it. So yeah, bottom line, for me, Slimming World. Might not be for you. You might find another way, and I wish you well in that. But for me, Slimming World.
Yeah, that was the final question, yeah.
Right, thanks for coming back and viewing part 2, if you have. It's been a pleasure to do these. We've had a really good weekend, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Yeah, and have a good day, have a good week, have a good weight loss. We'll see you next Saturday, But as I always have to say, remember, works if you work it, it won't if you don't. And that applies to whichever plan you're choosing to follow. Cheers.